Hello friends, welcome to the module 6 of our Node.js training course on my channel Let's Learn. In this module we will cover the essential topics like what the synchronous and asynchronous operations and how these works and different phases of the event loop. Before moving further, I would like to request to my viewers that if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get the notification of more such videos. I will add the links of all videos of this tutorial in the description section. Now let's start. So the first topic is the synchronous and asynchronous operations. So in this Node.js tutorial, I have already discussed about the two programming options that are asynchronous programming and synchronous programming, and I have already explained these two types of programming in details in my module 3 of this tutorial. Here I am going to briefly discuss about these two different ways of programming by showing a pictorial format. So here for this I have taken this video from one site, that is the www.builder.io blog, and I will put the link in my description section. Here these programming methods are discussed very well. So here in this screenshot, if we are seeing, it's a kind of video, so I will play it and then we'll show you in detail. So before that I'm just explaining here. This is the synchronous program. We have written the 3 lines of the code, 3 console log. First one is consoling first, second, and okay. So these 3 lines are running in synchronous format, and here this rectangle is representing the V8 engine, and in this V8 engine there is one memory heap. This memory heap is basically a kind of container that keeps the objects, and the second is the call stack. So this call stack generally keeps the callback functions and whatever the lines that needs to be executed within that callback function that comes under this callback, and it works in FIFO format. So whatever is at the top, it will be executed and it will be removed from this bucket. And this leave-ub, so leave-ub generally don't play any role in case of the synchronous programming, and this is the console window. So whatever data is being printed from the lines of the code in call stack, that will come under here. So now if if I will execute, then first console.log will come in the call stack, it will be executed, then the term first will be printed here, and then that will be removed from the call stack. Then again the second code will execute, and this console.log will come in the call stack. So that's how it will execute. Now let's start. So here if you see, first console log has come here, it has printed, then it is removed from here. Now second callback has second console log has come, it is printed, removed, then third console log has come, printed, and it is removed. So that's how it is working. Now let's see how this asynchronous programming works. So here in asynchronous programming, the first line is console.log, then second line is for reading the file, and this reading file is working in asynchronous format. Here callback function has been provided. Under this callback function, this console log is running and it will print the second, and then console log is third. So here if we will execute, it will first print it will first execute the console.log. Console.log will come under the call stack. From there it will print first, so that term will be printed in this window, console window, and then that console log will be removed from the call stack. Then it will execute the second line. This second line is a asynchronous code. It will come here in call stack, and from call stack it will be forwarded to leave-ub, and then leave-ub will take care of it. Then call stack will not take care of it, and then it will execute the third line. Third line will come again in call stack, and it will print the console.log, that is third, and then it will remove. By that time leave-ub will complete the task of this asynchronous operation, and then leave-ub will trigger the callback function. Then this callback function will come under call stack, and then under this callback function there is a line called console.log second, and it will then execute call stack will execute that line, and then it will come here in the console.log. So final output will be, it will first print first, then it will print third, and then it will print second. Now let's see how it is working. So here console.log first has come, it has printed, now it will be removed, then it has printed the this one asynchronous operation gone to libUB. Then here's third console log has come, it has printed. Then by that time libUB is completed work, it passed callback here, and then console.log has been printed. It is removed, then callback is removed, and here if we see, it has first printed first, then third, then. So this is the demo where I have shown you how the synchronous and asynchronous operations work. Now let's move on with the event loop. So to explain the event loop, I have taken this diagram from the Node.js document directly, and here it is representing the different phases of the event loop, and each phase is having their own queue. So whatever the callback functions or tasks are there, that will be accumulated in the event queue, and from there whenever the control will come in that corresponding phase, it will pick those tasks from the corresponding queue and it will execute it. Now the event loop is basically designed to process the asynchronous operations, and here the library named as the libUB is the backbone of the event loop. This libUB library is developed by using the C++ language, and thus it supports the multi-threading. The event loop in the Node.js consists of the several phases as shown in the image. These phases help to organize and execute the various types of the asynchronous tasks. Each phase represents a specific type of task or event, and Node.js processes these phases in predefined order. Now let's discuss about different phases of the event loop in brief. Now the first phase is timer. So in this phase, the timers scheduled with set timeout function or set interval functions are processed. The event loop checks if any timer have been expired, and if yes, then their associated callback functions are added to the callback queue, and then when control will come under the timer phase, then it will pick those callback queue and it will execute. Now the second phase is pending callback phase. So this phase executes the callback for the several system operations such as the TCP errors. For example, if a TCP socket receives some error when attempting to connect, and some system want to wait to report the error, this will be queued to execute in the pending callback phase. Now the third one is the idle and prepare phase. So this phase is internally used by the Node.js. It is out of reach of the developers. Now the fourth phase is the poll phase. That is very important. Here the Node.js is mainly handling the IO operations like the file reading, database interactions, etc. Here the control first checks the poll queue, and if the poll queue is having any waiting callbacks, and if yes, then it first handles those callback functions. Here the control will not handle the unlimited number of the callbacks, as if it does, then it will delay the work of other phases. So there is a limited time, for that time only it will handle all the callbacks, and if that time expires, then it will move on to the next phase. So after the certain amount of the time, it will stop handling the callbacks of the poll queue and it will move to the next phase. Suppose if a poll queue is not having any callback, suppose its callback queue is empty, then the control will check if there is any event to be handled with the set immediate timer functions, and if yes, then it will move to the check phase. Otherwise it will keep waiting in the poll phase for the certain amount of the time for any incoming IO events, and if within that time if any IO events are coming, then it will start processing that. So this is how the poll phase is working. Now the next phase is check phase. So here the callback scheduled using the set immediate functions of Node.js are basically processed. These callbacks are executed immediately after the poll phase if there are any in the immediate queue. Now the last one is the close callback phase. Callbacks for the closed resources, for example file descriptors, several server sockets, are executed in this phase. It is used for cleanup task before exiting the event loop. So this is all I am having today to share with my viewers in this module about the event loop. Stay tuned for the more exciting Node.js topic in our upcoming modules. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with the latest Node.js tutorial. If you have any question or need any help, then feel free to leave your comment in the comment box. Thanks for watching and happy coding.